Levi Jones-Leary returned for his match in nearly 2 years since his incredible CGI performance. His guard continued to look efficient and unpassable. However, what everyone is talking about is how effective his guard passing was and has been for the longest time.
I mean, what's your opinion on Levi? You trained with him recently.
Yeah, he passed. The first round I did with him, he passed me. Like, my guard was nothing.
He passed at will using a technique called the leg trap, which has been popular with Tynan and the AOJ team for quite some time. Levi has been able to develop a no-gi version around the leg trap to great effect, and it's what we're going to look at today. In preparation for this video, I've cross-referenced AOJ's lessons, teachings from Joseph Chen, and analysed Levi's match myself, so I can share and help you learn, understand, and implement this style into your own game. In this video, we're going to first look at an overview of the pass, including how this differs from gi to no-gi, the different finishes we can use to complete the pass, and finally, how to deal with our opponent's defenses. So as I mentioned in the intro, the leg trap was made popular by the AOJ team, with Tynan to note using it exceptionally well. Its name, the leg trap, comes from the nature of what makes this technique effective, which is trapping the top leg in place as we move ourselves around it. Deep Dive Jiu-Jitsu did a great video on the leg trap in the gi, and I'd highly recommend watching this as well. In his video, he called the leg trap an in-between position, as you won't outright pass with this technique, but instead use it to put yourself into a much stronger passing position, such as an over-under, a leg drag, or an entry into north-south. You'll see Tynan solely move himself towards the trap leg entering a flanked position. However, Levi showed movement to both sides. If we move towards the trap leg, we'll look for a leg drag or an over-under. However, if we move away from the trap leg, we're looking to flatten them out with this modified over-under or enter a smash pass, which is very similar to how Bernard or Faria used to pass back in the day. We're going to look at how to pass to both sides later, but for now let's look at how to enter the leg trap. If we want to enter the leg trap, we need our opponent's knee facing the ceiling. If it's turned in, we can threaten the smash pass to force them to open and flare their knee out. Alternatively, we can get this same position by grabbing under the bottom leg to turn their knees and hips to face the ceiling. We need this positioning as we want to pummel our shoulder below the line of the knee and inside it as well. If we don't get this shoulder position, we A, won't be able to effectively drive into their leg, and B, if our shoulder isn't on the inside, they'll be able to collapse their knee and frame against us, but also hook our back with their foot, making it impossible for us to move around it. So once we get this correct shoulder position, we're going to use it to drive into their top leg to get their knee close to their chest and get their foot connected to their bum. In the gi, we'd solidify this position by taking a grip on the belt or the pants if the belt is loose. But as you'll know, in no gi, we don't have this. So the strongest grip we can take is a hip grip, and this grip is pretty weak. So to reinforce the grip and make it stronger, we can use our shoulder pressure to wedge our hand in place between our opponent's quad and torso, which will give us a semi-robust grip and also make it difficult for our opponents to strip it. To advance the leg trap and flank, it's important we keep our opponent's foot connected to their bum so that they can't block us from moving around behind them. To do this, we'll tripod to walk around whilst continuously using our feet to drive our upper body into the leg to keep it trapped in place. And if we can successfully do that, we can look to settle into our other passing positions, such as a leg drag or a stack into north-south. The main issue you'll run into is your opponent squaring up, facing you and performing the high pummel. In the gi, it's very easy to prevent all of these as we can pin the far leg by taking a grip on the pants, which pins their leg and hip to the mat, making these defenses difficult. You'll notice Levi tries to control the leg, but it's very difficult to do so without access to the pants. So instead of working to pin the leg, we should instead anticipate the defense and use it to set up our other passes. In Levi's match, there are 4 main responses his opponents give, so we'll look at how to deal with those responses and finish the pass. When using the leg trap, our ultimate aim is to keep their hips facing away and their bottom leg pinned throughout the whole transition. Using our chest on the outside of their top knee will make this easier whilst driving in when in this tripoded position. If we can keep their hips facing away and their second leg pinned, then we can look to settle ourselves into a leg drag and pass from there. A cue to make the completion of this technique easier is tracing our shin behind their bottom hamstring, which will make their ability to square up much trickier. The main response we'll get is our opponent turning to face us. As we said, keeping their bottom leg pinned is tricky without a pant grip. So what can we do as they face us? When their foot comes above the line of their knee, we'll have the ability to take a scoop grip. As they are framing at our upper body, it'll be very hard to break those frames and get chest to chest. So instead, dropping down and going chest to hips in this over-under position is much more effective. Our initial hip grip when performing the leg trap also places our hand in the perfect position to begin cupping the hamstring, which prevents the bottom knee coming back in as a frame. Now all that's left for us to do is walk them flat so we can backstep and pass into a low side control. In his match with Davis Asari, Davis was able to untrap his foot by extending it mid-transition and splitting his legs wide. But when this happens, we can enter any variation of a stack pass. You can do a slower variation where you cup the hips and drive weight onto their neck, giving you more time to work the pass. But in Levi's match, to use this stack instead to get his head low, therefore blocking the legs and knees coming in, allowing him to pass to north-south. This is less of a response, but more so an option we have when our opponent fails to stay on their side. Another reason as to why having our shoulder on the inside of their knee is important is we can create splitting pressure on our opponent's hips by driving in with said shoulder. If they have inflexible hips, this can be very uncomfortable. And instead of working around the trap leg, we can instead flatten them out by tripoding and driving towards their hips, then backstepping away from the trap leg to complete a variation of the over-under. In Levi's match, he was able to completely turn the hips away, landing him in a smash pass. In this scenario, the entangled foot is all that's blocking Levi from backstepping, so he clears it by pummeling his foot on top, then moving around into side control. Just beautiful jiu-jitsu. These are the main responses and finishes Levi uses, however there are some defenses we need to be aware of, as if we are aware of them, we'll have a better chance of being able to nullify them from being possible, or be able to counter it ourselves. Quickly before we move on to defenses, I'd like to announce that I've set up a Patreon with lots of analysis and breakdown videos already on there. There's also a subscription option to get one-to-one feedback and coaching, if you'd like to elevate your game further and work with me. Back to the video. So the main defense is our opponent anticipating our flanks super early and successfully completing the high pummel. However, many guard players, including Davis here, are slow to connect and therefore stop side to side movement after pummeling in this foot. So what happened in the match is Levi would begin cupping the hip again and working a leg trap on the other side. Interestingly, what I found is Joseph tried this passing style against Levi, but taking a tricep grip with a lasso was effective in slowing down the guard passer's flank, which gave Levi time to square up to a neutral position. Also, Davis did something similar with a tricep lasso grip, but he did it on the other side, which seemed to reap similar results. Just something to look out for when slowing down side to side movement. A later stage defense people will hit is this elbow post, allowing them to break connection, sit up and escape. Essentially just pull a Derek Lewis and stand up. So to nullify this, we need to hide our elbow, and you'll notice Levi doing this by keeping his palm facing up. This palm up movement is called supination, which results in you tucking your elbow into your ribs as you do so, making it very hard for your opponent to post on it and retain. It was great to see this part of Levi's game, and hopefully we'll see more of this style in the future. If you like this passing video on Levi, you may like this guard retention video I did on him.